turn within rather than out. Turn in. Take a breath. Get mindful of the sacred presence within you. Let that presence emerge, evoke it, bring it forth today to be ever open to the wonderful message we're about to receive. Responsive to the beautiful music we will hear, and enjoying the fellowship and companionship with each other and our new friends, if there are new people to meet. Let that sacred presence be a part of us now and throughout the week. Amen.
Okay, actually Barb, I guess, has for you a nice new surprise. We have Steve Colladay as our speaker, and most of our speakers are known to us, but you're a first timer, and I like that. So welcome, thank you for coming. Real quickly, Steve has been a minister full-time for 21 years in 4 different Unity ministries, and then a consultant for a number of years as well, all over the Unity system. And beyond that, why I'll let Steve take the rest. Oh, I do, hang on a second. I'm sorry. I'm about to screw that up. I screwed it up a couple of weeks ago, too. You guys should do me.
You're fired.
It's good thing. So, yeah. We also have Susan Williams, and I'd really like to start with a song. I was so excited to hear this. But we can't do that. You guys know Susan, right?
Yay!
We'll do a song and then we'll do some. Steve, thank you.
Now, this is my first time here without Mr. Kirkshank. And so, even though he's not here in person, he's in here in spirit in my phone. And so I'm going to plug in and play a track that he made years ago for us. And it's going to click once probably when I plug it in, so be prepared.
That was 3 times 4, 5.
Okay. All right. Stand up. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful day. This beautiful day. Thank you for my silent Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful friends. My wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day.
Woo!
Well, good morning.
Good morning,
And happy
Steve.
Sunday. The Sunday is the day of rest. It's also the evening, a day to celebrate the Chiefs winning. For some of us it is. I'm so blessed to be here with the Center for Oneness, and I understand that you've had 3 years of an experience that has been really wonderful, and a journey of awakening and opening and living spirit. Giving new meaning to oneness, because I've come to believe that oneness is a literal fact, a literal truth. Beyond what appears to be separation, chairs, bodies, the planets, form, there's only spirit. And we're always one in spirit. So I love your name, and it's a blessing to be here with you. I'm going to lead us in a guided meditation and do so from a keyboard, piano. And then we'll move on to whatever words flow through me, whatever that is. So let's take a moment and center ourselves in whatever way you normally would. And a few deep breaths, just letting go. Being aware that there is only oneness. And with another breath, we're breathing even deeper and release fully. And for this moment in time, we recognize that we're not alone. One of the reasons we may come to a place like this on a Sunday is to remember. And at one level, the Center for Oneness is a remembrance society. And as we remember who we truly are, we know that nothing is impossible. We know that we are one with all creation, with all forms of creation, expression. And with another breath, we really acknowledge and let go of any thoughts. For this moment in what appears to be time, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Sometimes our ego is in uproar when they hear that word. There's nothing to do. But with the breath, we just release the thoughts that seem to detract us and move us away from our center. The center of oneness, of unity, of love, of the Christ, of the Allah. We move into the silence now for a moment and really rest. Letting go. Letting go. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. In the silence. And perhaps we shift our attention, our awareness back to this space, to our body. And perhaps this music will flow in and through you, and perhaps there'll be another experience of oneness. And so it is, and so it shall be. Yes.
Knock, knock.
One never knows. There's always a sign of something. So here we are. Would you believe that right this very moment you are standing on the threshold? On the threshold of, you fill in the blank. On the threshold of more drama, on the threshold of more excitement, on the threshold of breaking through some pains that seem to be with us forever. That you are standing on the threshold of something that is totally exciting and new that you had never thought of before. Got to button myself up. It's so embarrassing. I'm the only one that stands in front of everybody. I have to have a navel show. So anyway, so we're here. So it's not just a new year when we have a chance of choosing again and thinking that we can be reborn. It's right here and it's right now. And no matter what seems to be going on in our human form, on our planet, in this ministry, in our country, we can make a choice to grow through it and to go through it and to embrace it and to find a way to realize that yes, I can get upset and excited about life, and I can see people that are having disturbing behaviors, especially when I look in the mirror. I see it sometimes. Yes. But if we are in the Christ, if we are remaining in awareness of our Christ nature, and one of the things that New Thought and Unity and other places teach is that we are the Christ. We are spirit. Christ is the name of spirit. That we are spiritual beings having this human experience. And if that's the case, then what the hell? What are we getting upset about? Well, because, and the ego would, our monkey mind chatter that never shuts up, will continue to say what we need to do. So we have our own stories about how things ought to be. And other people will tell us stories, the news media, our spouse, or our ex-spouse, or current spouse, or both, or family, and ourselves would tell us stories, but what about if we created our own story about how things have gone, and then we have a new way of looking at it? So could standing on a threshold be for you saying, well, I've been telling the same story over and over again for perhaps decades about, and you pick a topic, whatever it is. And it's so familiar with you, you're on autopilot as you're talking, and people that know you well are also on autopilot because they've heard it forever from you. And what if you made a choice about, well, can I just have a radical acceptance of what is? I've been a Course in Miracles student for 20 years, 25 years actually. And in the last 6 years, I've been a Course in Love student also. And what A Course in Love is talking about, we have to have a willingness to have radical acceptance of what is. And what is means that if, when I made a thing about my shirt being unbuttoned, I could have just accepted that instead of making a big deal out of it. You know, or the things that still bother us from yesterday or from last year or whatever, from in our political situation, in our health or whatever, have we really accepted that that's the way that it is? And I don't know about you, but when I get into a place where I do accept that, yes, this is what happened, I messed up, or I'm really upset because I have financial challenges, or that I have a relationship challenge with family or with friends, when I get to a place of accepting that's what is, not that I like it, that's what is, what happens? Shifts happen. Pronounce that carefully. Shifts happen. And a shift is, once we accept something, we don't have the same energy, the feelings that create stress, that creates separation, a sense of separation. We just radically accept it. So that's one way of looking at what are we going to do about this? So what's really up for this planet right now is answering over and over again, who are we? And what's up on the planet is each individual, who are we? Who am I? And so, who have we come here to be? And if we haven't asked ourselves that question recently, we as individuals or as couples or families or organizations, including this one, or a nation or a planet, and if we haven't asked ourselves that question and listened to one another, then we're repeating the same old pattern, and sometimes it's very unconscious that we haven't even come together and say, oh, well, this was happening in the past, and yes, we acknowledge that it happened. So what's the meaning for us right now? What kind of meaning do we attribute to that expressing right now? Do we have a new vision that is yearning to be expressed within us? And possibly we do, or possibly we don't. So who are we? Where have we come from? What have we created, achieved, overcome, learned, left unresolved? What is ours to do? And so, one thing that I've been aware of decades ago when I first got into A Course of Love, and not A Course of Love, A Course of Miracles, it always talked about, Marianne Williamson talked about, whatever is not unlike love will come up for another choice. Returning to awareness of love's presence. And so in that case, if you do a diagnosis of what's going on the planet, everything is up. There's not an organization or an individual or a couple, if they're paying attention to themselves and to the world, the planet, that's not aware that, wow, it's a call for love. Everything is not of love, it's a call for love. I remember first time I read that, I first started thinking about my father. And he and I had a stormy relationship, especially when I was younger. And he had, in some ways, he was a rageaholic. And I was on the receiving end sometimes, and I became one too in some ways. It became very easy for me to get angry because I saw it all the time. When I left home and got on my own journey of life, we can realize with feedback and awareness and experiences that, hey, anger, even if you're right, isn't always the best response. And so, as I began to study A Course in Miracles, I began to realize my dad didn't really have either the willingness, the skill set, or didn't make a choice to express love or to say, hey, I'm hurting. And so what we do, especially as men, we have a whole garbage bag full of pain and stuff that we've stuffed over the years. And so it comes forth in anger. And so there's no one here that doesn't have some experience like that. And it's really a challenge. It's sad because we are here to say, well, what is ours to do? And given the world situation in this country, for example, there's always something going on. You can call it racial strife, you can call it political life, whatever you want to call it, and you can pick your topic and get off center in milliseconds. Can't we? Especially if we happen to watch a lot of television or read a lot of stuff about what's going on out there. But if we're standing on the threshold of a new rediscovery of ourselves, our spiritual nature, then we can make a choice to say, well, what is mine to do is to be a peacemaker right now, in my life and around the world. So, of course, the love says, I'm not only living in an unfolding infinite field of possibility, I am the unfolding infinite field of possibility. Now, can you think of a situation in your life that you sort of given up on? That was a call for change. That there was a call for some level of healing. There was a call for oneness, for you to do something different, for you to maybe perhaps reach out and say, hey, I need some help. But I don't know what the hell to do. Can someone help me with this? And so if it's possible that you are the unfolding field of possibility, then of course wouldn't it follow that miracles are on the way, that are here and right now. And when an individual realizes that they have that spiritual nature within them, what we do is we change our lives. Our energy becomes contagious around others because that's exactly how other people are. Sometimes when I facilitate a workshop on the past and the future of a church, one of the things we do before we start a session, we have a flip chart on 2 flip charts, and people come in, when they come in, I'll say, pick a word, one word that is your intention for this session today. And you might pick a word right now. What is a word for you for your intention for this week? How's that? Let's do a week, maybe a day if you want to do a week. One word. It might be a spiritual word, it might be whatever. It might be love, it might be peace, whatever, integrity, you name it. And we fill a flip chart out. Then we start the session. And there'll be 30 or 40, whatever it is, one word's up there. And they're all wonderful. The paper is all filled with words all over the place. And we ask people to print big so others can see it. And if you wish, think of 3, and just say we're going to do it differently here. You think of 3 words right now that would be your intention for this week. One word. But think of 3 of them. And you pause a moment, and in a moment we're going to speak them out loud in unison. The 3 words that is your intention for this week. And I'd like to have you speak them loudly with some power and some intention. And what we're going to do is we're going to be setting a field of possibility with our intentions right here and right now. As we say our 3 words, when I hit the word 3, we'll all say the 3 words at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Love,
Collaboration, complement, and harmony.
It is done. It is done. And so part of it is an awareness of, do you have the power within you to make a change? I know one thing that I never heard of unity when I grew up Presbyterian. And I'm a recovering Presbyterian.
How decent of you.
My older brother is a Presbyterian minister now. We have great conversations. And he's wonderful. I love him a lot. And I was not church. I didn't believe in a lot of God, Jesus, the Bible. Give me a break. And so it was when I in the 60s and 70s, the body, mind, spirit movement was unfolding in this country. We were catching up with some places around the world that were already on that path. And I began to have a realization that I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I didn't have those words necessarily at the time. And so I began to gravitate towards all kinds of things. At the same time, I was working as a consultant in LA and working with Kaiser Permanente and HMO. And I got transferred to Honolulu. Hey, somebody's got to go. People ask me, how did you get to Hawaii? I said, 747. If you're young, you might not know what that means. That's a plane. And that's where I discovered Unity Church on Social Ground. And it was like a revelation to me. I never knew. I mean, what do you mean? I'm a loving and loved child of God, period. God is only love. And on and on and on. For a lot of you that have had a spiritual awakening when you first attended a spiritual community, whether it's Unity or whatever it was, you know what I mean. It's not quite often, it was tears, and it was just like, wow. And my life has never been the same since then, and perhaps that's true for you. And where we are these days, because of what's happening on the planet, we are called to not rest on our aspirations. We're not called to say doing the same old in our spiritual communities, in our personal relationships, work relationships, retirement relationships, in our thoughts and our feelings. So we're called to realize that we can make a difference. And this is what's difficult these days, because given the fast pace, the crazy pace of change in so many ways, I don't know about you, but sometimes I say, oh, what the hell, I think give up. Why should I even bother to vote? And I keep on, if I have an addiction of news and so on, I have one I'm continuing to work on. I don't do it all the time. I don't watch TV anymore. That does help. And if I don't realize that I have a power within me, a responsibility to make a difference. It starts with my thoughts and my feelings and my actions. So, what is mine to do? I've been deciding I'm going to speak up in churches, and I just began doing this, and so far no one's run out of here screaming. There's the P word, politics. Because for obvious reasons, at least in Unity and most without churches, we don't make a major issue out of how people should respond to political situations. And on the other hand, I know that myself and a lot of New Thought spiritual organizations, including Unity, we made a clear declaration that we are responsible for connecting and for spiritual social action, whatever you might want to say that might be. Even back in the years of the civil rights movement and the riots and so on, in the 60s and 70s, the Vietnam War, most churches were not taking a stand whatsoever. They came to everything late. Johnny come lately, or Mary come lately. And my belief is that we have some responsibility at some point to say, hey, to be authentic, to be transparent about, yes, people are upset about things, and we get worried about all the way from politics to climate change to racial stuff to the economy and whatever. And no, it's not appropriate, I think, for a spiritual organization to dive into what you should do about it, other than respond in love. Respond in your spiritual teachings, rather than not by pushing it away. And so what I'm going to suggest today is that there must be a better way. So as a spiritual being, how do I respond to our current political climate? So you might ask, if you want some dialogue after you leave today, with someone, how are you responding to the political climate these days? And I use the word respond as a suggestion. Do you react or do you respond? For me, the difference is react is sort of instantaneous, based on habit, based on ego, based on fear. And response could be having gone and making a choice to see this differently, the true spirit, instead of just to see someone that's calling for love, or a situation that's calling for love, or to look at myself, find myself, I'm getting really PO'd and upset. What in me is calling for love? What am I not seeing out there? So there must be a better way. What is life to do right now? So one invitation I have for you individually is to go this route. Let's not give our power away to what others say is reality. Because a lot of times that really sucks. Reality with a capital R is the reality of spirit, of oneness, of universal oneness. That's the reality. And Revelation says, look, I've set before you an open door which no one is able to shut. Well, that sounds very good on a Sunday, and then we go out and somebody cusses off the traffic. Or we happen to be addicted to news, and we always watch the morning noon and evening news on television. And we wonder why we get so wired. And so are the still doors open then when we find ourselves at our wit's end about what's going on out there? We focus externally out there. Are there other doors that are open? Well, you know what? Davenport says when one door closes, another one opens, but it can be hell in the hallway. And we won't not, it's such a concept. There's a great book written called Spiritual Bypassing. And you know what it's like. Especially in New Thought, and people learn all this wonderful, lovey-dovey stuff. I'm a child of God, and I never get angry. I'm not upset about this. And oh yes, I know you feel that way about whatever, and I know you'll get over it. And we just bypass being real. So, and there is hell in the hallway because internally, if we are finding ourselves all of a sudden raging at something, oh, I thought I had handled that. Well, guess what? It's up again for healing. And my choice will be, will I radically accept? That's what it is. Do I have to like that I thought I'd taken care of that? No. I don't have to like it. Will I accept it? I'm aware that I'm upset. Radical acceptance. Now, one church I served with, we did one of these sessions called looking at the vision and mission and the core values. It's recommended that churches every 3 or 4 years, the whole congregation comes together, they take a look at who are we? Maybe that's who we were back then, but what about right now? Because the new people and change happens internally and in the world and so on. What is ours to do right now? And so, and I was there at that church for a while, and in some of my lessons I was using the word radical like I have here. Now, I'm of the age that back in the hippie days and so on, the word radical was not a term of possibility. It was the term, don't upset the boat. And look at these people going around, the younger generation. Don't we have that sometimes, a stereotype of others upsetting the boat? And here I am trying to be my loving self, and all of a sudden they're doing this to me. And the word radical, initially, some people, there was pushback on it. And some people made a political thing out of it. And I tried to gently suggest, well, have you made peace with your understanding of what radical is all about? And would it be possible for you to take another look at it and look at what might be, if it's not radical, creative, powerful? Long story short, they put in their new vision statement the word radical. And everybody got in alignment with it. And what happens, that community gets on fire when you get energized and you get reset based on who you are right now. Amazing things happen. It's incredible. But there is hell in the hallway. And will we acknowledge it? I mean, some people think that the only thing if you ever acknowledge anything that is, quote, negative, then you're becoming a negaholic. And I've been a negaholic. Someone told me I was once. Driving along looking at a beautiful scene in a car, and I was talking with a friend, and all the billboards, and I was going on about the billboards, and damn, how do they do that? And my friend said, Steve, you're becoming a rageaholic, you're becoming a negaholic. And you can change that. Yes, I could. And so it's not easy. But if I don't embrace that there's hell on the planet, there's hell in my life, whatever you want to call hell, and also I know exactly that I embrace my humanity. Jesus came to the planet to have us recognize our divinity. And wouldn't recognizing it also suggest that we have to accept it? accept our humanity? Our humanity is not always one that we believe we would like to be expressing. But if I'm not accepting hell in my life, and then I'm not able to be open to the possibility of, well, maybe I'm called to do something different. Because I've been so busy repressing and rejecting the mere possibility that I'm in a negative space, I'm in hell. Well, it's a possibility. So, Marianne Williamson, I don't know that she is a presidential candidate, and I've been admiring her for decades, and I don't think she will actually win a presidential election, but she's having a huge impact. Introducing the concept of spiritual more than religious is already having a humongous impact on the planet. It's something that I never thought we would see that in politics in my lifetime. But she says, believing in magnificent possibilities is right now. It's not sometime in the future. Whatever situation we are in now, whatever person or people we are relating to now, contains the key to both healing the past and releasing the future. We can be someone different than we were in the past, releasing the future to be different as well. Beautiful concept. Nothing new for those of us who have been spiritual for a while. The secret of happiness lies in knowing that we are in the world but not of it. Keeping our thoughts on love while having our feet planted squarely on earth is the intersection between heaven and earth. Beautiful. So it's possible to do that. Of course, the love suggests we are writing a new first page, a new Genesis. It begins now. It begins with the rebirth of a self of love, the Christ self. It begins with the birth of Christ in you and in your willingness to live in the world as the Christ self. So in spite of anything that might be happening on the planet and how you view it, will you be willing to join me in commitment to living my Christ self, to be aware that that's my core identity? You might have another word if you're still resistant to traditional religious terminology like Christ, well then come up with another word. The idea of oneness self. Is it possible that you can move to a place where you're going to be making some incredible changes? And I think it is possible. Here's from, I want to close with this. I am no longer the personal self who is separate and alone. In fact, I'd like to have us read this aloud. I think you all can see it. And say it with sometimes we just read this by rote and we say, if it really resonates with you, have some power behind it. Notice that your intention at the level of consciousness right now has an impact on the planet. Has an impact on people here and people that may see this online and people that don't. So here we go. Say it together.
I am no longer the personal self who was separate and alone. I am my Christ self. I dwell in unity. My identity is certain. This is the truth. I am not less than I once was, but more. Where once I was empty, I am now full. Where once I dwelt in darkness, I now dwell in the light. Where once I had forgotten, now I remember who I am. Now I go forth to live as who I am within the world, to make cause and effect as one, and union with the source of love and all creation, the reality.
Let's pause for a moment. No, that is true. And we're it. It's a blessing to be with all of you. I see incredible energy here and possibility. And I know the world is in a better place right now because of you. Always has been, always will be. God bless you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. That was interesting and wonderful. an offering, and you'll go on. Okay? Take just a moment, gather your goodies, whatever they happen to be. And then say with me this little prayer. Divine Lord,
Through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Partly for the practice again. Do you think you owe it to yourself to look inside of you and take the time to realize what you are here to do? And do you think the time has finally come to stand and face the fire, to walk into the blazing sun and claim your heart's desire? You were placed upon this earth with a vision to complete, and now the time has come to stand up strong and claim your destiny. You must move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. Even when the chips are down, or so it seems, move in the direction of your dreams. Do you think that you're not good enough to be a shining star? Or maybe that the road's too rough and you won't get that far? Do you believe that only some are great and others left a chance? Maybe that it's just too late, a futile circumstance. When you were placed upon this earth with a mission to complete, and now the time has come to stand up strong and claim your destiny. You must move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. Even when the chips are down, so it seems, move in the direction of your dreams. And when the world seems like it's crashing down upon you, and the clouds of doubt are darkening your day, be still and know there is something deep within you that'll help show you the way, to move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. Even when the chips are down, or so it seems, move in the direction of your dreams. Move in the direction of your dreams.
Thank you, Sue. How about community concerns? What have we? Yes, ma'am.
I have a few. Well, I'd like to continue to pray for Kelly Asola. She's leaving for Peru tomorrow, but she does have some housing challenges. And our new board has been elected, and I was thinking that we should hold them in the highest and send them positive energy for this year. And then I was thinking that we should also just think about the appreciation for our new home and the new managers. It must be a very stressful thing to be a new manager here and be trying to take over everything. So I was just thinking we should kind of hold them in light and love and good things for them.
What else? I have one, if you'd help. My cousin got a new liver a while back. There it is, on the phone.
Got a new what?
And I got a new liver a while back, and she was doing great, but the immunosuppressants allowed cancer to take off. So she has a skin cancer that is unusual, and she has cancer of the stomach that they're aware of. And so she'll start chemo on Halloween. She's off in Philadelphia enjoying my sister just now. But so, I'd like her to live.
Name?
Kathy. Whatever the right thing is, let's see what happens. So there you go. Will you say this prayer with me? Very good. Centering our hearts and minds in prayer.
We let go of any thoughts of worry or challenge and simply rest in the stillness. We know that our source of strength and peace comes from God alone. We give thanks for divine order and trust that we are all held in the power of grace.
You know, if you like other prayer, the reads are available. Next Sunday, we have Jean LeClaire as our speaker. And Baker as our musician. I want to thank Steve Colladay. Thank you. And Susan. It's been fun. It's been good. Okay. Patrick, would you pray us out? And then Susan will finish this with a song. Okay for you? No.
Thank you, Mark. Well, friends, we are the Center for Universal Oneness. And as Steve so wonderfully pointed out, inside us, each of us, we are the Center for Universal Oneness. Perhaps we can take Steve's message and realize that throughout this coming week and evoke that sacred presence and bring it out even bigger. And Susan's going to help us take it higher in just a minute. So with that, we pray. Amen. See you next week.
Amen.